You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We're locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. Downloadable podcast episodes can be found at the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. And today we're welcoming / preparing to learn from Lori over at Olive and Herb in Sun Prairie. We're actually in her store, which is super cool. So Lori, how's it going today?
Great. We have a beautiful day.
Oh my gosh, it is. I'm glad because we've got some sun on us here as we're doing this. So we're surrounded by, I know there's probably a special name for these.
Yep.
I want to say jugs, but that's not it.
Exactly. They are called fusties.
Fusties? All right.
So they're made in Italy, and they hold olive oils and balsamic vinegars.
All right.
So right now we have, we specialize in olive oils and balsamic vinegars, all direct from Italy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
Exclusively?
Yep.
Okay.
And the olive oils are all from one producer in Italy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy. We'll have to taste them later.
Yeah.
A man named Adriano and his family live about an hour south of Rome.
Okay.
And they actually grow the olives, make the olive oil, and send it directly to us. There's no middleman.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So, do you mind giving me a little history lesson on olive oil?
Oh, go ahead.
Because I look at oil from like vegetable oil
Yep.
and coconut oil and all the oils of the world. And I always wonder who was the first person to squeeze that thing
Exactly.
to get oil, especially an olive, a little tiny thing.
And you'll find artifacts popping up all the time, like 2,000 years ago,
Wow.
and earlier, and even that they found a piece of a carafe, a pottery that had remnants of olive oil in it. So
oh my gosh,
it's a tree that's kind of a smallish tree, but they can grow for hundreds of years. Typically,
holy cow, the trees themselves do.
The trees themselves do.
Wow.
Yep. The oldest known olive tree that they know about in Italy, they think is about 2,000 years old.
Holy cow.
It's still living, it's still producing olives, so it's a really sustainable.
Yeah, I guess.
And it grows in kind of Mediterranean, kind of arid locations. So
okay.
You'll find them in the Mediterranean, but also in California.
All right.
And now in the United States, they're starting to grow them in Texas and Arizona. Yeah, olive trees. But once you plant an olive tree, it can grow with very little water for a long time. So it's
interesting.
It's kind of cool that way.
All right.
You'll find a lot of references in the Bible about the olive branch.
Okay.
Yeah, and anointed with oil, that type of thing.
All right.
But
so when you get an olive from Italy,
yes,
or olive oil from Italy
yep.
versus an olive from Arizona or Texas
sure.
or whatever, or I don't know,
yep.
France, Guam, who knows? Can you taste the difference?
You can.
Okay.
For example, I've tried olive oil from Greece, which is another large olive oil producing company in the country, and it's very kind of fruity. So it all gathers that from the soil and the climate, and the care.
All right.
So it does have a particular flavor, and Adriano actually blends all of our flavors specifically for us.
Oh, I guess I didn't even look at the tags to see what do we have. Roasted almond, roasted walnut, avocado,
and then those
lime.
Against the wall are specialty oils.
Okay.
So those are not from Italy, but they are also very well made, expeller pressed. So 3 are from California, 1 is from France, the hazelnut, and then 1 is from Japan, the sesame.
All right. And what do you do with the hazelnut oil? Or
hazelnut oil.
Walnut oil.
Super interesting. What I found out is hazelnut is the most popular nut around the world. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And here,
all right.
I didn't know that either. And then here, we see it maybe like hazelnut flavored coffee.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But we don't really see it many other places. But so when that particular company, they pick the fruit or the seed and they toast it.
All right.
And that brings out more of the flavor, and then they press it. And out comes the oil.
Wow.
So you can see, kind of labor intensive, but it's a big reason why there's no mechanical, it's only mechanical process. There's no added like solvents or anything.
Okay.
So it makes it much healthier. And in
interesting.
fact, extra virgin olive oil, the extra virgin means it's the first pressing of the olives. So when they pick the olives, within 24 hours, they should turn them into olive oil.
Okay.
Yep, and then in Italy, they harvest about once a year, which is in the fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you better have a good crop.
Exactly. They pick the olives, they press it, and then they use a centrifuge to spin out the oil.
All right.
Yeah, and so olives can be pressed a number of times. So extra virgin means it's the first pressing of the olives.
Oh, okay. All right.
It has the highest quality and the most flavor and the most health benefits.
Interesting.
Yeah, so all we
right.
carry are extra virgin olive oils. And we have about 16 varieties. We have 4
Holy cow.
plain
Okay.
olive oils. Just the different varieties of olives gives them their flavor.
All right.
And they can be from mild to medium to robust. And those are kind of used for different cooking. Some people just prefer the different flavors.
Okay.
And so we encourage you when you come in to try, and then if you like it, we'll pour it fresh for you.
All right.
So you know it's the exact same thing that you just tried. But for example, you might want a very mild olive oil on your salads.
Okay.
But you might want a medium or robust, depending on what you're cooking. Say you're cooking steaks, potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want something that can stand up to heat a little bit more.
Okay.
Dipping bread.
All
You
right.
want a little bit more flavor because bread really soaks up a lot of flavor.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, what do you do with olive oil?
Exactly, olive oil. Super interesting. So, of course, salads.
Okay. Just drizzle it on kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
To make a salad dressing, it's about 2 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. Like we have balsamic vinegars, or an acid, like a squeeze of lemon.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I know it seems like there's so many dressings in the grocery store, but it's actually really easy to make your own dressing.
Oh.
And just right on the salad even, you could just pour a little olive oil, a little squeeze of lemon, a little salt and pepper.
Oh, that's it.
And that's it. And then basically really similar for a marinade.
All right. Marinade for meats?
For meats,
Okay.
for vegetables. But back to olive oil, what it can be used for, sauteing.
Okay.
I know extra virgin, we've all been taught growing up that it's too fussy, it's too delicate, so don't heat it, very high temperatures.
All right, sure.
But what I've found over the years and what we've experimented with is the higher the quality of olive oil, the higher heat it can withstand.
Oh,
Yep, and they've done a lot of studies about that, that it actually doesn't break down. So I'm guaranteeing all of our olive oils to about 400 degrees.
oh, that's pretty hot. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, we'll take the garlic.
Okay.
So garlic you could do certainly on bruschetta, on a caprese salad, the tomato, basil, mozzarella.
All right.
The tomato seasoning's coming up. You could roast vegetables in that. You could do garlic mashed potatoes. You could do a mean garlic bread.
Okay.
You could do garlic shrimp on the grill.
Yeah, I'm starting to get
Exactly.
hungry.
You can drizzle it on steak or just pan fry it.
All right.
The nice thing about a nice quality of olive oil, it coats the pan really nice. You don't need as much, of it. A little goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And it just kind of infuses into the food.
All right.
Yeah, you can pop popcorn in it.
I just saw it says you pop popcorn in it. So
Exactly. Right?
that is
Yeah.
interesting.
There's-
You don't hear of that very often.
No, you don't. But we're probably all old school. We know how to pop popcorn on the stovetop.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Oh,
put
yeah.
a tablespoon in there, put your kernels in there and pop away, and it kind of, instantly you have this beautiful popcorn.
Interesting.
Some other things, we have a lemon, lime, and orange infused olive oil.
Okay.
And so, for example, the lemon is infused with a Meyer lemon. So if you're making anything light, like chicken
Yeah.
or fish, or roasting asparagus, or you could do grilled asparagus, it's
Okay.
kind of that time. Just a little drizzle on that. But you can also bake with it. For baking, it's very interesting. You could make cakes. Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I guess I didn't.
You could make
wow.
cookies. Yep. I didn't know either. And then because olive oil is a liquid at room temperature, your baking is moist for a long time. You know, even up to a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So it's not like shortening or butter where it's more solid
Exactly.
at room temperature. Okay.
Super easy to use. If your recipe calls for a third of a cup of vegetable oil, just swap out a third of a cup of the olive oil. And
All
your
right.
imparting flavor, for example, the lemon flavor will just kind of come through and,
Oh, that's clever.
yeah.
So the flavors are added in Italy, or is that something you add?
In Italy.
Okay.
Yep, and then so just the oil of the fruits or vegetables are combined with the oil of the olive oil. Adriano is also a master olive oil blender.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You know, it's so funny you say that, because I was just talking with, my kid about what do you want to be when you grow up.
Yeah.
And I told him, you have no idea all the jobs that exist.
Oh, there's so many.
Because I don't know all the jobs that
No.
exist, and I've been here a while. So to try to decide what you want to be when you grow up,
Exactly.
you get
like who,
3-year chunks. That's all you need.
who knew that was a thing?
No.
A master olive oil blender. But I guess if your family's into olives in
Wow.
Italy. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So
So
he
that's
will.
his job.
So he knows how to take those flavors and combine them with, because olive oils, they can taste different every year, just like wine.
Sure, I suppose it's a natural product.
Exactly.
So,
So
yeah, it's
he knows
variables.
how to make the flavors taste very similar year after year.
All right.
Yeah.
So when he is mixing the lime, lemon,
Yeah.
garlic, whatever, I imagine that changes shelf life of some stuff.
I would think so. We're guaranteeing all of our olive oils for about a year.
Okay.
For about a year.
All right. Well,
And
that's a long enough time. I would
exactly,
imagine.
yeah. You get the most health benefits, yep, and you get the most flavor within a year. It'll still be good after a year, but it'll start to lose some of its flavor and some of its
Okay.
health benefits. And then the balsamic vinegars that we have, they're also super cool how they're made. They're all made from a white grape. That's been aged in wood barrels for many years. Think of
I guess I never knew where vinegar came from.
I didn't either. And this particular vinegar, who is planning ahead for this? So a balsamic vinegar should be aged 12 years or longer.
12 years. Oh,
Yeah. So who is thinking of that? And then
somebody that forgot they had vinegar.
I think that's exactly
What's this
right.
closet?
Yeah, they probably had wine that they.
Yeah.
You know when you leave a bottle of wine on your counter for too long, it becomes vinegar. That's kind of the thing.
Oh,
so
right.
So with wine, you don't want to introduce oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
With vinegar, you do want to introduce
You do?
oxygen.
Okay.
It creates more character. So originally in Italy, they would keep vinegars in these wood barrels.
Okay.
So it's aged in oak and juniper and cherry.
Well, just like
Yep,
whiskey or something
just
like
like
that.
whiskey.
Okay.
Yep. And it was aged in the attics. So in summer it would get really hot.
Yeah.
In winter it would get really cold, and all of those fluctuations create the characteristic of a balsamic vinegar.
What in the world?
Exactly.
Do you wonder who figured this out?
I don't know who.
So I'm like, I'm
figured it
going
out.
to put this stuff in the attic.
Yes.
We're going to get these fluctuations. I'm going to put this stuff in the basement.
And they wait so long.
Yeah.
So right now we have about 6 fruit-infused flavors that have
Oh,
been
wow.
aged about 15 years.
Holy cow.
And then the star of our show that I have to have you try is our vintage balsamic aged 25 years.
Holy
Of
cow.
course, almost like reduction, has kind of a sweet finish. The longer they age, the more concentrated they get.
Okay.
The sweeter they get. Yeah, it evaporates a little bit over time, so you get less and less, just like, a good
Sure.
whiskey.
All right.
Yep. And, but we invite everybody to come in and just try. Because
That's cool.
it is pretty fun to just come in and try.
All right. Well, speaking of jobs,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that adds the flavors, has the olives and all that jazz.
Yes.
How did you get involved with this?
So originally I watched the show Shark Tank.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
Familiar, right?
Exactly. And the man who originally started this was appearing on Shark Tank, and he was pitching to the sharks to grow his business. And
was his the store, or was his the distribution? or-
his was the store.
Okay.
Yep.
And how long ago are we talking here?
And about, let's see, 2014.
Okay, so
Yeah.
7, 8 years ago, something
Yeah.
like that? So
Yep.
that's really not that long ago.
Exactly.
All
And
right.
then when I saw him, I sent in an application to get my own store.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
All right. So just out of curiosity, do you know what happened with his business after being on Shark Tank? Did it explode and go crazy places, or was it just like that was a neat, fun time?
He got a lot of publicity.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And he didn't get the deal. They said, you're a nice man, you have a nice business, but we don't make any money on franchises.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Great idea for someone else.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. But then people like me saw him and sent in an application.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is so interesting. So I know of a couple olive oil places.
Yep.
And vinegar and olive oil seem to go together.
They do.
So is that still a relatively new thing?
Pretty much. I think olive oil, of course, has been around for a long time, but with people wanting to eat more naturally, wanting to have the medicinal properties of olive oil, it's very anti-inflammatory, so it can really ward off a lot of diseases besides tasting delicious.
All right. Bonus.
So olive oil has been a lot longer in the United States than the vinegar. The vinegar, maybe about 20, 30 years ago, they started selling it here, but now you'll see it quite a few places.
All right.
And quite a few recipes that you'll find.
So the retail store for olive oil, when did that kind of come around?
Probably around 15, maybe, maybe 20 years ago, but not very long.
So as VCRs were going away, olive oil is coming back in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is interesting. I remember the first time that I learned about a place with olive oil and vinegar, I kept thinking, what?
Exactly.
Because I was raised.
We didn't grow up with these products.
No. So it was interesting. I'm like, you got a store that does that, and you go and you're like, holy cow, there's a lot going on here.
Exactly. It opens up a lot of new doors and a lot of new recipes, which are nice. Yep. And we can certainly help guide people with recipes if they're looking to make a certain thing or they eat a certain way. Yep.
Interesting. So when you reach out to this guy and you're like, hey, I'm crazy enough to open up a retail store, right? And he says, yep, sign, exchange cash, I imagine.
Yep.
And then away you go. How much help did you get to set the store up?
There was quite a bit of help.
Okay.
From how to set up like the front of the store, and basically, a franchise really helps in starting a business. Has a business plan, the things that you need. So I was coming from an IT career.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
That's close.
Similar, exactly. So for me, a franchise model was really helpful because I was pretty intimidated to start my own business.
Oh, I bet.
But I wanted to, but I didn't quite know exactly how to do it. So a franchise model was really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in IT.
Yep.
And you watched a Shark Tank episode just for fun, right? You weren't watching them for business ideas, I imagine.
No, it was for fun. But kind of like the world is these days, you get downsized. I had been downsized about 3 different times in my career.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't keeping up with mobile design. I was in specialized web design.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I need a backup plan. So
Gotcha.
I was kind of tuned in for, things that could be a backup plan. And so when I saw this, my first job out of high school, I was a tour guide at Von Steele Winery in Algoma.
Okay.
And I was like, this is a little bit like that. Like people
Sure.
come in, they try it. If they like it, they buy it. If they, they don't.
It's an adventure.
It is.
Something to do, get out of the house.
In my career, I was a user experience designer, so where things were on a web page and how people went from one page to another, kind of, so this is my real life user experience. Yeah.
All right. That is cool.
And in my web career, I was at the Pampered Chef. For about 8.5 years on their web team.
Oh, wow.
So I really saw the power of recipes.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. So
Right.
I thought this also, built into that.
Yeah, Pampered Chef is one of those businesses that I see. I don't know if it's a stay-at-home mom thing or if it's
a lot.
I don't just cousins, stuff like that.
Yep.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I got this catalog and stuff.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
yeah, they're taking over the world.
Yep.
Or did. I don't know if they're still around or anything like that. I don't know much about them.
Yeah.
It's not my world, I guess. But maybe I'll find someone. Anyways, that had to help figuring out what people like and what they're attracted to.
Yep.
And
I really saw the power of recipes and using products in recipes, and how that helped their business.
Yeah.
And share ideas. Their slogan was "Gather around the table."
Oh, okay.
Exactly. It's a nice meaning, and this also, really helps. There's a lot of people coming in that maybe have health problems or are looking for new recipes. They're tired of their current recipes, or they're just looking to eat healthier. So we can help all of those people.
All right.
Yeah. So I really not only love the taste of the products, but the health benefits of the products.
Nice. So you make the decision, hey, I'm going to go from IT or being downsized IT to reach out to this guy about the franchise.
Yep.
Was there anything in your head that said, this guy, if it doesn't work out or anything, plan B is whatever? Or there was just like, I'm just going to write this letter and we'll see what happens?
Yep. I just thought, well, I'll just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he's,
So from the timeline-wise, time you watch that episode to the
Yep.
time that you have a store open on your own.
Yeah. Probably about a year.
Oh, that's still pretty fast.
Probably about, yeah, it is.
That's
it is
crazy.
to change your life.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you got
So
to find a spot.
watch out what you watch on TV.
Oh, that's funny. I have to watch Shark Tank.
You do. There's a lot of different things that you need to accomplish to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
get it going, including when I started in this particular place at the Shops of Prairie Lakes, it was just gravel in this spot.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there wasn't even a building here.
It was a shell of a building.
Okay.
But there weren't any walls up. There was.
Oh, the inside was still not finished at all.
Exactly.
All right.
So they helped me at Prairie Lakes. They helped me work with an architect.
Okay.
Yep. And
Interesting.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
So you got to leave some space that wasn't completely built.
Mm-hmm.
So just out of curiosity, and this is, I just wondered, right? Because this place
Yep.
went up in,
Yep.
it seems like a day, but I know it took a little bit longer
Yep.
than that. We used to live down the road, and I remember when this was all field, and I think they put up Target.
It's amazing.
And I was like, I wonder what's going to happen there. And then we saw a sign for the movie theater.
Did you?
The movie theater was coming.
Yeah.
I was like, that's super great.
Yeah.
But we are on Hepker Road,
Oh.
so we're out of here.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this is going to be a highway.
You could see.
Yeah, so we got out of there. But it's interesting to watch this place grow.
Yes.
And there's stuff popping up left and right.
Yes.
I think they're even putting up more buildings.
Yes.
So how did you know, or how did you figure that this place is going to have the traffic that it does?
They have studies, of course, with the development, but then we just came and we sat and we watched. And
all right.
And we also, there were some things here, but this end of the space was, still getting built out. So the spaces that were here, we just sat and watched and.
All right. See who's coming and going.
Yep. And then we could look at the vision for what Prairie Lakes was doing and and then we certainly talked to the chamber of Sun Prairie.
Yeah.
About who lives in Sun Prairie, who travels to Sun Prairie. So interestingly, because of a lot of the anchors, people come from a lot of other cities. Like they'll even pull from the Dells.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
They pull from Stoughton. It's an easy travel up here.
Sure.
So a lot of people, and Costco, of course, is a huge.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yep. wherever you have a Costco. Yeah.
The masses.
Good
just
things
come
are
there.
going to happen, but
All
you
right.
know, Sun Prairie, you know, really has a good vision for yet remaining the small town feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So worked with quite a few different sources just to make sure that
Okay.
it's going to be a good area.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you been here the whole time?
Yep, the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're talking 7?
About 7 years.
7 years is a while.
Yeah.
So you initially got the lease. The lease couldn't have been 7 years though.
No, about 5 years.
Okay.
And then I resigned.
All right.
Yep.
And was that like no problem? Here you go, easy, or was it
Yeah.
just like, do we want to be here?
Yeah. This particular complex is really good.
It's
so,
working out.
yeah.
Okay. Super cool. So tell me about the financials of a place like this, because you got rent.
Yep.
You got the olive oil, and it's it's got a shelf life, even though it's a year.
Exactly. Yep.
Employees?
Your inventory. Yep. I have 4 part-time employees.
Okay.
And luckily, knock on wood, that I've been super blessed to be able to have employees, you know, throughout, and we're fully staffed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. Now, granted, it's not a strenuous job as maybe some others,
Sure.
and it's a nice environment. But you know, we have super nice customers. Like nobody's unhappy coming in to talk,
I hope
you know,
not, right?
to buy olive oil, and we get
I'm
to
upset
we
buying olive
get
oil.
we get to talk recipes, you know, and we just have the nicest customers. So,
All right.
Yeah. So I have 4 people, you know, that can work, you know, a day or 2, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And do you have to train them?
Yep.
Because I imagine they don't come with
Exactly.
universal knowledge of olive
Exactly.
oil.
No, none of us grew up with olive oil. So yeah, there's a lot to know. So we do quite a bit of reading, and then there's new studies coming out all the time. So we want to make sure about, you know, our product. We always taste our product, and then we are also, you know, combining different products. Like, how does this olive oil taste with this vinegar?
Oh.
And then I encourage team members to cook with it
All right.
as well, because
Got it.
everybody, you know, has the way that they like to cook and
Sure.
the way they like to use things, and that all works with people coming in, you know, have different ways that they like to cook or not cook. You
Sure.
know, there's a lot of people that come in and say, I don't cook at all, but, you know, I still think I want olive oil. And there's ways to do it, you know, just a caprese salad, just drizzle, done.
So when I first learned of a store like this, the woman was saying that she has people come in and try the olive oil.
Yep,
And I said, wait a minute, you come in there and you just drink the olive oil
yep.
like a shot
Yep.
kind of thing? And that's the thing.
And that's basically how you do it. You come in and we'll get an idea what you're looking for, what kind of things you like to make, so we can help guide you to, you know, the things that would be most appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want to try like 10 olive oils, you'll get confused, but
Okay.
you know, say if you like to grill.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe you like things with a stronger flavor, or if you like to make more tropical flavors, you know, then we have.
Oh, all right.
Yep, like lime on shrimp.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
would be very nice.
Okay.
But we can really assist you into something that you would like and is going to work with your style of cooking.
All right. And same thing with vinegar.
Same thing with vinegar.
People just take a shot of vinegar.
Yep, you just take a little sip.
And is it, I feel like that would be a punch in the face kind of thing.
Exactly.
Is it?
Do you want me to grab my tasting cups? We'll taste one?
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let me grab one.
Yeah. We'll just see what's going on here.
All right, so I'm gonna pour you a couple.
All right.
I'll try them on camera.
Holy cow, that is dark. Look at that.
Exactly.
I was expecting something clear to come out.
So because it's aged in the wood barrels, it has that dark color, but there's
All right.
there's no caramel color, there's no added sugar.
Okay.
So this is a little bit of our raspberry infused balsamic.
Oh, that smells good.
Doesn't that smell good?
Oh my gosh.
Again, aged for about 15 years, so take just a little sip of it. It is vinegar, so it'll be kind of bright.
That's better than a lot of things that I've drank.
Right? Yeah.
That is.
I don't think there's a balsamic that I've met that I don't like.
Oh my God, you
Yeah.
could drink a glass of
You
this.
could drink a glass of that. You
I don't
could-
know if you should. But
It's also, it's very good for your guts. It's the antioxidants from the grape is also very good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. In Italy, I think this is true, I don't know 100%, but apparently they drink a shot of balsamic before they eat. It's an appetite suppressant.
Whoa, interesting.
Yep. And then,
Yeah, that's good.
then I'm going to have you try our flagship, which is our vintage balsamic.
Okay.
Now, you're going to see how much thicker that is.
Well, yeah, it is really thick.
Yep. And then
I don't even know how to
that's
show the camera this, but
exactly. That's going to be sweeter.
It's funny. You're just waiting for it to like.
Exactly.
That's almost like syrup. Oh, that's good too.
Isn't that good?
I did not expect vinegar to taste good.
Exactly. Now, so that certainly on a regular salad, yeah, it makes me eat salads.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is.
Salad, caprese salad, anything tomatoes is really nice. Bruschetta. But I've put it in things like meatloaf.
Okay.
Yep. So it has anything that needs that base note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This almost is like a Worcestershire.
Yes, exactly. A homemade spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
You could drizzle it on a steak or a burger.
All right.
On roasted vegetables.
Yeah.
It's
Who knew?
really nice.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
you knew.
And well, I didn't know until we just keep experimenting with it just to be knowledgeable. On fresh strawberries, it's really nice.
All right.
Yeah.
I would never, ever
Yeah.
have guessed that somebody could drink vinegar. Just
No. Exactly.
drink it and not go straight
Exactly.
out
And
to
I-
get a drink of something else.
Yep, and super similar with olive oil, that you're gonna come in, you're just gonna taste a little bit. And the reason we don't have bread is we want you to taste it as an ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna taste different on bread as it does like a cucumber
Oh,
or
sure.
a piece of chicken. So
Mhm.
yeah, if you like it as an ingredient, then you'll like using it. If you
Right.
don't like it, then you shouldn't buy it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So what are some of the challenges that you've run into as you've been in business 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
Coming from IT, there had to be a few things that you weren't necessarily prepared for that you didn't know were going to happen.
Pandemic. I think everybody.
What is that thing?
Everybody probably says pandemic. Luckily, we had been here long enough that we had existing customers. When you try the products, honestly, we have mainly repeat customers.
All right.
Because.
Well, very cool.
Yeah. So luckily, it comes in a bottle. We can put it outside. We can do the car service, that sort of thing. And
Gotcha,
then
okay.
people know.
Yeah.
One of the things that was difficult is I didn't have the ability to do a website.
Oh.
In that it was in my agreement that I couldn't do a website.
Oh, interesting.
And with my background as a web designer.
I was just going to say, that was right up your alley.
Exactly. I was, and especially during the pandemic, that was really hard because we had no ability to do that.
So then people didn't necessarily know that you're open.
We had a Facebook.
Okay.
And that's kind of the, and an email.
Okay.
Yep, so we did as much as we could that
Sure.
way. But a lot of people started ordering online, even regular grocery
Oh, yeah.
stores. Yep,
Yep.
so, unfortunately, we were not able to do that, but that's one thing that we're going to be able to do.
Okay.
Yep, under our new
Oh, like
brand.
whatever.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right.
So as Olive and Herb, we're going to have olive and herb.com.
All right.
Yep, and people will be able to see all the products, they'll be able to order
Oh,
online.
very cool.
Yep, so that'll be really helpful. We'll have a place, a home for recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, which is, on Facebook, there's not really a good place for recipes. Even though we share a lot of recipes, it's hard to do a search.
Right.
And just you bring up the recipes.
If
So
you
we'll-
wanted to find a recipe for dressing,
Exactly.
you would go to Facebook.
And this way, we'll be able to have, say for the garlic olive oil, these are the uses, these are, our suggested recipes. Yep.
Got it.
Yep, so that'll be really nice.
So let me understand this. You were part of a franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and when you were part of that franchise, they would not let you have your own website?
Correct.
They essentially wanted you to use theirs?
Yes.
Okay.
So there was a main website for the franchise, Yep, and that was.
And then I imagine
that
they
was
gave a
kind of-
location for yours and
Yep.
kind of end of story?
Yep,
So no ordering online or anything like that?
no.
Oh, you're kidding? Oh, wow, okay. That seems like 1991 stuff.
That was difficult.
All right,
Yeah.
got it, okay.
Yeah. But-
So that probably helped trigger the, let's go off on our own and do this the way that we want to do it kind of thing?
Yep,
All
so
right.
we can just do a little more.
Well, that seems like a
And-
lot more in
and-
this day and age.
Exactly, and things that customers have been asking for a long time. For example, we have now these really nice, pretty green bottles, but
Yeah.
you can also see the product before there was a cover over it.
Oh.
So with olive oil, you want to kind of keep it like a beer bottle, a dark bottle, to help shield it from light.
Yeah.
So it had a beautiful, pretty covering over it, but it was a little bit difficult for people to know when the product was running out.
Oh,
Yep.
you know when you tip the bottle? and
Exactly,
nothing
yeah, you'd have to look under. So we've gone to a green bottle, a clear bottle, and then something that people have been asking for a long time would be a small size.
Got it,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's something that we're able to do now, which
Oh,
we're
very
really,
cool.
really excited about. But sometimes people want to bring home, not just to try in the store, but they want to bring home the oils to cook with the different foods that they like, and just to see how much they use it.
Sure, that's fair.
Yep.
Totally fair. So I've talked to a lot of businesses that are in the food area, and finding packaging
Yes.
is one of the biggest challenges.
Yes.
I would have never have thought you need a glass bottle, call the glass bottle company.
Exactly.
But
Yep.
there's a whole
There's a whole
thing.
thing. Yep,
So how
glasses.
did you figure out size and tint and find a manufacturer, quantity, all that jazz?
We stayed with the size that we were using,
Okay.
which is a 12.7 ounce bottle. It's 375 milliliters. There is a local place in Milwaukee that we're able to get glass bottles from.
They make these in Milwaukee?
I don't,
Or get them?
yeah, I don't know
Okay,
if they
distribute
they
them?
make them, they distribute them, and pretty soon we'll have our logo painted on.
Oh,
So
very
that's
cool.
that's something that they'll be able to do.
All right.
But that's a local source, and yeah, you want to find something that does have a dark hue. I'm not sure that we'll stay with this particular shape of bottle all the time, but this particular size 4 ounce really works out for people.
Got it, okay.
Yep, but you're right, packaging is hard to find these days, glass, you know, there's a shortage on glass from.
Is there really? On glass?
Yeah, on glass,
Wow.
yep. Some of the products, like the olive salad, they had a shortage of their glass bottles, so they weren't able to they could make the product, but they didn't have anything to put it in.
No, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Minor details, you have to buy it by the barrel.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
you do, you do have to plan ahead,
All right,
yeah.
interesting. So when you bought the bottles, are you buying pallets at a time?
Yep,
Is
so
that it?
you buy a pallet at a time, and, you know, it depends on your storage too,
Mm-hmm.
and so you hire a truck to bring them to you.
All right.
Yep, so it's kind of,
Interesting.
yeah, industrial size. Yeah,
Right.
It's all kind of interesting, yeah, running a business.
Oh my gosh. It's interesting because I talk to a lot of business owners.
Yeah,
In all kinds of different industries.
Yep.
And the challenges that they run into. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have never guessed.
Never thought.
And a lot of times they never guess.
exactly.
Would have thought, like, I gotta get some glass bottles, no big deal.
Exactly.
Right, there's glass bottles everywhere.
Absolutely,
But
yeah,
tougher than that, so it's interesting what challenges people run into.
it is. For one of the nice things about our bottles is it has a built-in pour spout.
Oh.
So,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, so it's a cork that we push in there, and it has a built-in pour spout, so there's nothing else to buy, which is one of my favorite parts about the bottle, but for a period, we couldn't get these corks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was a challenge I was not thinking was gonna happen, but
Yeah.
they're back now.
Well, bullet dodged. Interesting. Tell me about marketing. Because you got this store in front of a bunch of other stores, or next to a bunch of other stores. I
Right.
imagine you get some foot traffic.
Yep,
But you still want people to know, because nothing happens until a sale is made, and there has to be awareness for sale to be made.
yes.
So what has worked and what has not worked for your marketing?
Over the years, I've tried a lot of things. I've tried a billboard, I've tried magazine ads, I've tried TV. TV for us is very good.
Is it really?
Yep.
Okay.
Because people can see what the store looks like. Maybe it's a little intimidating when if they've never been here before and how it works, so they can kind of get a preview.
All right.
Yep. So the demonstration that it's more of an experience than just coming in and like just grabbing a bottle of olive oil. So that's been really helpful. But we do have a really good Facebook following.
Okay.
Yep. So I do a lot of recipes on there. I do if we have new products or ideas for existing products, like recipes. And then also articles about health, maybe some local news, that type of thing. So we try to be a good community promoter too.
Yeah.
Yep, so Facebook is really good, and then emails. Yep.
Oh, so people get on the list?
Yep, an email newsletter. Yep.
All right.
I write it and send it out, so sometimes it doesn't happen as often as I want, but yeah.
Isn't that the truth? I'm right there with you. It's one of those things, like, these are the list of things that you should do.
Exactly.
And these are the things you must do. And
yes.
Half on either end is going to be done.
But word of mouth, honestly, has been
really?
Yep,
okay.
one of our best advertisements, which is so super helpful. And
yeah.
I really appreciate everybody spreading
That's cool.
the love. And I also do things like, and I will be doing some more again. They kind of stopped during COVID, but some presentations in the local area.
Okay.
Yep. And then maybe some different tastings. Now, because of the rebranding, we'll probably have an open house coming up.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And
how recent is the rebrand?
Probably about a month and a half.
Oh, I never.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a year or something.
Yeah.
It's been pretty quick.
Yeah,
okay.
pretty quick.
All
yep.
right.
So next time you come in, we'll have pictures up on the walls.
Got
we'll
it.
have
All right.
probably a little better, more filled out rebranding. Some of the part of rebranding is the excitement is getting new products.
Oh.
So
you're not in that.
Exactly.
You're not caged.
Right. So I'm able to do some local products.
Oh.
And
okay.
so some of the things I'm looking at is getting some local jams.
Okay.
Some local hot sauces.
Nice. All right.
And some spices from a company right on the east side of Madison.
Okay.
Yeah, so working with other local businesses is super,
very cool.
Super fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There is a ton of local stuff. I mean,
Yes.
hot sauce and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I think I've even interviewed a few, which when I first started this podcast, I would have never thought that.
Exactly.
There's a few local hot sauce places.
There's a lot of local businesses. People are doing really cool, really good.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Delicious, healthy products. Yep.
Very true. Very true. So, what was the trigger for you to change from franchise to, I don't know, would you call it going off on your own? You've already been around for 7 years.
Yeah. Yep. Just the ability to do more. Like for instance, these small bottles are huge for us.
You couldn't do those before.
No, we couldn't do those before. And honestly, a lot of our customers, they were in a stage of life that their kids have moved out, and it's the husband and wife or the wife. There's smaller families, and they don't go through so much anymore. And they wanted to be able to try different things at home. Yep. So really listening to our customers.
All right.
And trying to do things that they've been asking for years.
Okay.
Yeah. So
nice.
we're trying to just reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who our customer base is.
So if someone was to start a business and join a franchise,
Sure.
Are there certain things that you learned after the fact that you could share? I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be exclusive to olive oil, but just any franchise. There's thousands of them.
Exactly.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh. Tons of people even selling people on buying franchises and stuff like that. So
excellent to start up. To start your own, maybe you're moving from corporate America or a different situation to a business. That's an excellent way to get into a business.
Okay.
Once you've got going, there maybe are some limitations depending on where the franchise is. Some probably not, and some there might be.
Right.
But yeah, in just our case, because we're kind of a local store. Yep, that we just wanted to reflect like the local customers.
Yeah, I've talked with a lot of people that are franchisees.
Sure.
I've talked to the few that are franchisors, and I've talked with a lot of businesses that started as franchise. And for whatever reason, they decided to go off on their own.
Sure.
A lot of it was marketing,
Oh, okay.
where they were paying the franchisor a percentage, and they expected something marketing in return.
I see.
And not every franchise is a name like McDonald's or something that people
Right,
recognize.
right.
So the name didn't necessarily mean a lot.
Yep.
So they're like, I'm paying for a name that nobody knows or cares about.
Right.
So why pay?
Right.
So it's interesting.
Yep.
Oh, there's a lot of systems that are in place. There's a lot of vendors and all that kind of stuff that are helpful initially to get started. But yeah, it doesn't always work.
And then for us, it's really just getting out in the community. And like we were talking about before, joining your local chamber.
Oh, sure.
Yep. Networking. We have a little women in business in Sun Prairie,
Oh, nice.
group.
All right.
Yeah, and then so you just kind of try to work with businesses that you meet and that you have a similar vision.
Yeah.
And so everybody else, everybody rises together.
Very cool.
Yep. But
right.
you really need to get out in your community and get people to know
Shake
you.
hands, kiss babies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you miss the IT world?
I do, but I'm super excited to be able to do this website.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm just having a ball. So I did really like the user experience space. I loved what I did, but when you have corporations, these days they're always getting bought out, reorganizing, and then you get reorganized out of a job. It's just something that unfortunately, you just have to be open to change.
Oh, yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's adapt or die.
Exactly. So
Interesting.
certainly our generation will, is seeing that, but then every generation coming up needs to be adaptive to change and seeing, being able to look and see what's next.
It's so funny you say that, because I had just hired a couple people for my business yesterday. And the resumes that I looked at, people had put jobs that they had for 2 weeks.
Really?
On their because they didn't have any other jobs, because they had tons of jobs that they were at. 2 weeks, maybe 3 months, something like that.
Wow.
And some of these people are mid-30s, and they haven't held the same job for more than 6 months.
Wow.
I'm like, I get being open to change.
Exactly.
There comes a point where there's a common denominator here that's...
Yep.
Negative.
You still need people, that are reliable, that are, customer focused, that are, happy,
Right.
friendly people.
Yeah, the people that know how to turn a job that's a job into an enjoyable enterprise.
Exactly.
Have some fun doing it,
Yep.
right? At least try to enjoy your life a little bit. Right? It doesn't hurt. Interesting. So, can you help us describe where we are? Because not everybody's going to know this necessarily. The people that want to come from all over the country, right?
Sure. Exactly. So the shops in Prairie Lakes, we are in Sun Prairie. We are located near Costco and Cabela's, and there's a Palace. Is it Marcus?
Theater.
The
Yep.
Marcus Palace Theater. So we're kind of right in the middle. There's a group of shops that you can come in, and there's restaurants. There's things to do. It's a very nice place that you can just park in the front of the store and walk right in. So it's very accessible.
Yeah, your parking is great.
Yeah. Sun Prairie is a very friendly community. It's pretty easy to get to. It's just the first exit in Sun Prairie. So we're not very far from Madison even. So people come out from Madison, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
Making the reverse commute.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting because it's Interstate 151. So I imagine even if you're on the south side of town, it's probably not that much longer to go here versus just downtown.
Correct.
Like, there's no stoplights. You just roll on the highway.
Correct. So we are in, I would say, kind of a new part of Sun Prairie versus the downtown.
Sure.
Yep. But very easy to get to. easy to come in, just walk right in the store. There's usually parking always available. Yep.
Very cool. Tell me, this is curiosity as well. You're in a retail space. You have people on either side of you.
Yep.
Vendors, businesses. So I imagine they're neighbors, right? So do you see or talk with the neighbors, or is there a little group of businesses that belong or chat with each other, or does everybody kind of stay in their own corner?
It kind of varies with who you have surrounding you, but in this case, like we have a brand new owners at Wine Styles.
Okay.
Yep, which is just a kind of next door, and new owners, a brand new store at Twisted Grit Yoga upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So they just had an open house at Twisted Grit to introduce themselves.
Nice.
And we were able to donate some things, you know, to be
cool.
part of their open house.
All right.
You know, and again, you just need to put yourself out there to get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
Everybody's super helpful with each other and growing each other's business, because it only helps us all.
Yeah.
Yep. So you do need to make the effort, but
Right.
it's well worth it, yeah, because everybody has a different set of customers, and maybe they would like to know about you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Fair. Totally fair. Is it the same owners, or has it been the same owners for the past 7 years?
Let's see. It has. Yep. So this end of the building just did some change.
Okay.
Yep.
Ownership change.
Yeah, ownership change.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. So Wine Styles just changed owners, and then the yoga place just changed owners.
All right.
And Rejuvenation, right next door, Rejuvenation Spa just closed. They have another place in Middleton.
Okay.
Yep. And so they're going to focus on that one. So they just didn't have enough stylists.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
For two.
Just couldn't find them.
There again, you know, was the COVID. You know, people changing jobs, and.
So I guess, Lori, before we wind up here.
Sure.
For the people that are coming into this for the first time, someone like me that's just like, I don't know anything
Yep.
about it, and then I just had life-changing experience here. Where would you want somebody to go first in the store?
Yep. So when you come in, we will be happy to take you on a tour of a store.
Nice.
We have the whole introduction. We can tell you where olive oils come from, what the layout of the store is. We will get, you know, some idea of what kind of things that you like to cook. So don't feel like you're in it alone. We are experienced, and we all love to cook and talk about cooking. So just come in, and we will give you a whole tour of the store, and we'll do some tastings, and we'll find something that fits your palate.
Sweet. Super cool. Well, Lori, thank you so much for being on the show. This is a cool space. I never knew.
I know. I didn't know there were so many olive oils.
This is super cool. This is super cool. Well, thank you so much. This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. My name is James Kademan, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services to service businesses across the country on the web at callsoncall.com, as well as the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur in all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, Lori, the owner of Olive and Herb. And when is that website showing up?
Hopefully within the month.
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
And tell us what the website would be.
Olive and Herb. Olive, A-N-D, herb.com.
That's perfect. That's an awesome domain.
Thank you.
Oh, good there. Thanks for watching. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.